Good morning, Ms. Gluck. How are you?
Well, Judge, how are you?
I'm doing good. Good. All right, I'm going to take a second here and make sure everything is set up. It looks like we are good to go. All right, court's going to call cause number FM20-00243 in the interest of JJB, a child. And Ms. Gluck, you are representing the petitioners today for termination of the parental rights of the mother, Stephanie Best, and father, Christopher Huda. Is that correct?
Yes, Huda. Yeah, yes.
Huda. Okay. All right. And who's going to be? Is anyone going to be testifying for you today?
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Is anyone going to be testifying for you today?
Yes, I have the Karen Gay Boyd who will be testifying.
Okay. And how is my audio? Can you hear me okay, or is it muffled?
It's just my hearing, Judge. It's good.
Okay. Well, the only reason I ask is because sometimes my microphone cycles from an exterior one to my computer, and sometimes attorneys will let me go the whole hearing, and they're like, "Judge, we could barely hear you."
Oh no.
And then I hit a button, and it all gets better. So okay.
Judge, excuse me. I also have Mr. Boyd, but I don't believe his testimony is necessary. But he's also present.
Okay, good. Thank you, Ms. Clark. Okay. All right, then Ms. Boyd, if you'll raise your right hand and make sure that I can see it there.
Okay, sorry. There you
Ms.
go.
Boyd, I'm gonna swear you in. Ms. Boyd, do you swear that the testimony you give to this court, that it will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, good. You can put your hand down. And during your testimony today, it's going to be very important that as you and Ms. Cluck are sitting there next to one another, sometimes it kind of becomes conversational between the two of you because you're in the same room. But it's very important that you speak up loudly and clearly into the computer so that it can come through, and my court reporter who's here with me and also viewing online can see and hear and record accurately. And allow Ms. Cluck to completely ask all of her questions before you give an answer so that we don't talk over one another. And Ms. Cluck will do the same for you, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, thank you, Ms. Boyd. Go ahead, Ms. Cluck.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Boyd, you are Karen Gay Boyd, who has filed the petition for termination of the parental relationship between the child and his mother and his father. Is that correct?
Yes.
And married to Anthony Renee Boyd?
Yes.
Is that correct? And he is sitting to your right this morning?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are petitioning the court to terminate the relationship between the child's parents. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
The child, he's a male child, and was born 2016. Is that correct?
That is correct.
In fact, the date is August 26, 2016. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
And the
Ms.
child
Clark.
is in your home? Yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, and make sure to the best of your possibility, if you'll face the computer when you talk, because we're losing you on the microphone. So,
Okay. Sorry about that. Let me scoot up some.
Was it Ms. Boyd or me, Your Honor?
It's you, Ms. Cluck. We can hear Ms. Boyd, okay, but I think what happens is when you turn or you look down at your documents, the microphone's not picking you up as well.
Okay. And I apologize. I am in the process of having my larger computer changed over, but the cost right now, Judge, is just everybody's trying to do it, and so the cost is. So I'm still using a laptop. I apologize.
That's okay. That's okay. That's fine.
All right. Ms. Boyd, you are, the child lives in your home. Is that
Yes.
correct?
Yes, he does.
And he's almost 4.
Yes, on Wednesday.
He'll be 4 on Wednesday, and he's lived in your home basically since he was born. Is that
Yes,
correct?
yes. Born.
Okay. And he has, you've basically cared for him. Is that correct?
Yes.
Although, and his mother lives in your home and has lived in your home off and on. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
But she's really not taking care of the child. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And you want to give the court an example? Who feeds the child?
My husband and I, we take care of him 100%. We buy his groceries, clothes, anything that has to do with his care, we provide.
Your husband, Anthony Boyd, works, is that correct?
Yes.
And where does he work?
At ACT Transportation.
Okay. And you, at the current time, the child is covered under Medicaid, is that correct?
That is correct.
However, by the court grants determination, then Mr. Boyd has arrangements to place the child immediately under his insurance. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes.
The child's mother is Patrice Best. Is that correct?
Stephanie.
Stephanie Patrice Best.
Yes.
And she has executed an affidavit of relinquishment of parental rights. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And we have filed that with the court. Is that correct?
That is.
And we're asking the court to take judicial notice of that affidavit. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And the child's father, Christopher Buddha,
Huda.
Christopher
Huda.
Siad Huda,
Yes.
has filed an affidavit of relinquishment of parental rights. Is that correct?
Yes.
And basically, the child's father, Christopher Huda, has not participated in the child's life at all. Is that correct?
That is correct. He's never.
He has, although he was declared to be the father and was found to be the father in a divorce petition filed between the parties, he's never participated in the child's life.
That's correct.
Do you believe that the termination of the parent-child relationship between Stephanie Patrice Best and the child is in the best interest of the child?
Yes, ma'am, we sure do.
And do you believe your appointment as managing conservator of the child is in the best interest of the child?
Yes, ma'am, definitely.
And you're asking the court to terminate the rights of the child between Stephanie Patrice Best and the child. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe the termination of the parental rights of child relationship between Christopher Huda and the child is in the best interest of the child?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you believe that your appointment as managing conservator is in the best interest of the child?
Yes, ma'am.
The court to appoint you as to terminate the relationship between the parents and the child, and to appoint you as managing conservator.
Yes, ma'am.
And also to appoint your husband as joint managing conservator. Is that correct?
That's correct.
You and Mr. Boyd have been married for how long?
Almost 37 years.
And you have a house with 3 bedrooms and baths and sufficient income to take care of the child?
Yes, ma'am.
And you believe that you understand that it provided the court grants the termination and appoints you as managing conservator of the child, that you will be totally responsible for the child until he's at least 18. Is that correct?
Yes, it is correct.
The mother and father have both signed the medical history or provided medical histories. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And Your Honor, we have e-filed those, but I believe, no, we did not. What we did was we submitted them to your court administrator because we didn't believe that we should e-file them. So I'm not sure how to handle those medical certificates or medical histories.
All right, I'll have to look in the clerk's file. If you didn't e-file them, then
Because my understanding is they're not supposed to be of record.
so you emailed them to my coordinator?
We emailed them to your coordinator. Yes, we emailed them to the coordinator. And there's a question as to whether they should be e-filed.
Okay. It's going to take me a moment to go and verify that. I was not aware.
Okay.
So you can go ahead and continue with your
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. And we can do whatever necessary. We do have them, and whatever the court requires in the event that you do not have them. Okay, I guess I passed the witness, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Well, let me take a break real quick and go verify those reports. And I'll be
Okay. Sure.
all right. All right, we're back on the record in FM 20-243. The court has received the medical reports provided by your office, Ms. Cluck. The court has reviewed those. I do have a question about one of the affidavits of relinquishment attached to the petition. And it's the affidavit regarding the termination of the mother's rights. And I believe that one of the witnesses on there, I can't make out the name, and there's an incomplete address. Can you give me more information about that, Ms. Clark?
Yes, Your Honor.
I believe the first name is Clayton, but I cannot make out the last name, and there's an incomplete address.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you talking about the medical history or the affidavit of relinquishment?
Affidavit of relinquishment.
Okay.
That was attached to the petition as Exhibit B, I think, A or B. Exhibit B.
Okay.
Let me show you what I'm referring to, Ms. Clark, right here on the screen.
Yes, sure. Oh, okay.
Who is this individual, right?
Oh, that's Clayton Stern. Clayton Stern?
Stern, okay.
Yes. And the address is 282 Van Zandt County Road 9135. And who is that? 4135.
4135.
What town is that?
That's Stephanie Best signed this.
Yes. Okay, that was at the bank.
Which bank was that?
It was the First State Bank of Ben Wheeler, the Edgewood branch.
Edgewood Branch?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I did not realize that he had not put the city or the town.
And is this a young man?
It is.
And were you there at the time that he signed it?
Yes, sir.
And so he's a younger man, rather tall, blonde hair. Is that correct?
I thought he had dark hair.
I'm personally familiar with one Clayton Stearns, Julie Stern, attorney here in town, who recently graduated high school, is now at A&M, and his family owns the bank. Is this one and the same? Was he an employee at the bank, or was he just
He was an employee. Yes, sir.
He was an employee at the bank.
Yes, sir.
All right, then. And then I believe that his address would be 282 Van Zandt County Road, 4135 in Canton, Texas, 75103.
Okay.
Anything further, Ms. Clark?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right, and I believe, Ms. Clark, you asked the court to take judicial notice of Exhibit B, the affidavit of relinquishment filed by Ms. Stephanie Best and Christopher Huda.
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will take judicial notice of each of the unrevoked and irrevocable affidavits of relinquishment with regards to the parental rights between Stephanie Best and the child, JJB, and Christopher Huda and the child, JJB. Court will find that all requisites of law and notice have been met. Court finds that the parents of this child have waived issuance and service of process by waiver duly filed with the court. Verify that. I believe that is contained in the affidavit of relinquishment. Court finds that it does have jurisdiction over this child and all parties. Court finds that respondent Stephanie Best, biological mother of the child, court finds by clear and convincing evidence that she has executed an unrevoked or irrevocable affidavit of relinquishment of parental rights as provided by Chapter 161 of the Texas Family Code. Court finds that based on the filing of the affidavit of relinquishment, that the termination of the parent-child relationship between Stephanie Best and the child of this suit would be it'd be in the child's best interest for that relationship to be terminated, and the court hereby terminates the parent-child relationship. Court finds that the presumed father is Christopher Huda, and finds that he has also executed an unrevoked or irrevocable affidavit of relinquishment of parental rights pursuant to 161 of the Texas Family Code. Court finds that it would be in the child's best interest, based on that affidavit, for the parent and child relationship between Christopher Huda and the child should be terminated. And the court finds that on that finding, the court hereby orders the parental relationship between Christopher Huda and the child be terminated. Court finds that it would be in the best interest of the child for Karen Gay Boyd and Anthony Renee Boyd to be appointed as managing conservators, non-parent managing conservators of the child. And court makes that order today, appointing each as joint managing conservators with all rights, duties, and obligations as provided for in the Texas Family Code. Court finds that Stephanie Best and Christopher Huda have prepared and provided to the court a copy of the medical history report that addresses the ancestors of both of the child's biological parents. Anything further at this time, Ms. Clark?
Nothing further, Your Honor, we rest.
All right, and the court will sign the order of termination of parental child relationship and appointment of non-parent joint managing conservators in e-file. We'll circulate that back to the parties.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, if there's nothing further, we'll be adjourned at FM 20-00243. You ladies have a great day.
Thank
You
you.
also, Judge.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome. You're welcome.